So since the health products regulator SAHPRA announced the strict and controlled use of Ivermectin by healthcare professionals in the treatment of COVID-19, the product has been in high demand.
Absolutely, there's a huge demand. Lots of people are asking for Ivermectin at the moment at pharmacy level. Yes, but unfortunately we're not allowed to sell it and not allowed to stock it at the moment.
Well, that demand quite evident. It has become a sizzling money-making scheme for criminals. So over 2,000 Ivermectin tablets were seized at Tambo International Airport just last month from a passenger who just arrived from Dubai. And because Ivermectin is not registered for use in humans in South Africa, and there is no registered medicine containing Ivermectin for human use, some are resorting to the internet where Ivermectin has become freely available. SABC News understands you can buy 10,000 if you desire it. Like this box, which is purchased off the internet by one of our sources. So a study has now shown that 80% of the Ivermectin tablets found in South Africa contain at least one undeclared substance.
We found that 4 out of the 5 tablet formulations actually had at least one undeclared pharmaceutical ingredient or medication. In fact, one of the tablets had 7 additional undeclared medications on top of the Ivermectin. So that was the tablets, which we had 5 samples, 4 of them, 80% were contaminated. The 2 capsules that I tested were clean in terms that they only had Ivermectin. So that was the result of the findings, and that really surprised me in that 80% of the tablets actually had contamination. And if we look at the undeclared ingredients, so these are ingredients that, on the packaging or on the foil blister that you get for the tablet, it doesn't list them at all. These were ranging from Panado to Voltaren. It had a diazepam, which is a sedative, a sleeping tablet. It had anti-epileptic medication called pregabalin, which is centrally acting on the brain. We had blood thinners, which we use post heart attacks and strokes. So, it was a wide range of sort of chemical compounds that we found, and none of these obviously were declared. And that means that either the doctor prescribing or even the patient who's self-buying, none of them were aware that they were actually ingesting these chemical compounds.
Ingredients which could cause serious side effects in patients.
People must remember that when they are buying drugs that are not from a pharmacy and not from a recognized firm, they're probably not getting Ivermectin. It is probably some fake that, as I mentioned, contains all sorts of other medications as well. The other issue is that there are potential toxicities, because if it is adulterated by a drug that will interact with something else that they happen to be on, that may well result in significant toxicity. The other problem is, if it is real Ivermectin, nobody really knows the correct dose that should be used for humans. When we look at the drug in the lab, it does inhibit viral growth, but the dose that would be required to inhibit viral growth in humans is in the region of 100 times that is the recommended dose at this point. So we don't know what the toxicity would be in the doses that people are potentially going to use, and we also don't know what those drugs contain.
So experts are now warning that the use of illegally procured drugs is extremely dangerous. Chris Alder Lewis, SABC News in Johannesburg.